Listen to me. Success is not about what you do when you feel good. It's about what you do when you don't feel like it. It's about what you do every single day when nobody's watching, when the excitement is gone, when it's just you, your dreams, and the grind. See, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success. But wanting it, that's easy. The question is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to show up every single day, no excuses, no shortcuts? Because success, it's not magic, it's not luck, it's routine. You don't become great by accident. You don't wake up one day successful. You build it, you create it, step by step, hour by hour, decision by decision. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So I got to ask you, what's your routine? Are you waking up early, getting after it? Are you setting goals, staying disciplined, making sacrifices? Or are you waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation? Let me tell you something. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is everything. Champions don't train when they feel like it. They train because they made a commitment. Winners don't grind when it's easy. They grind because it's who they are. You want to be successful? Lock in on your routine. Make it non-negotiable. You wake up and go hard, period. You study, you practice, you push yourself, period. No complaining, no excuses. Because guess what? The people who win, they're not lucky. They're not special. They just refuse to quit. So I need you to make a decision right now. Are you going to keep talking about success? Or are you going to build a success routine? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do every single day, every single rep, every single moment. Success is in your routine. Success is built on daily habits, not occasional effort. This is the fundamental truth that separates those who achieve greatness from those who simply dream about it. Every successful person in any field has one thing in common: consistency. It's not about what they do when they feel inspired or when conditions are perfect. It's about what they do every single day, no matter what. The small, seemingly insignificant actions they repeat over and over again become the foundation for their success. Most people make the mistake of thinking that success is about a big break, a single opportunity, or a stroke of luck. They believe that one day something magical will happen and they will suddenly become successful. But the truth is, success is not a moment, it's a process. It's built through relentless repetition of small actions, choices, and disciplines. It's about waking up early when you don't want to, putting in the extra work when no one is watching, and staying focused when distractions are everywhere. People who rely on occasional effort never reach their full potential. They have days when they are all in, full of motivation and energy, attacking their goals with intensity. But then they have days when they take their foot off the gas, when they skip the hard work because they don't feel like it. This inconsistency kills progress. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water, but poking holes in the bottom. No matter how much effort you put in one day, if you don't sustain it daily, you lose momentum. Success requires plugging those holes and making sure your actions are aligned with your goals every single day. Look at any elite athlete, top entrepreneur, or world-class performer. Their success is not a result of one great performance or a single moment of brilliance. It's a result of the training, preparation, and discipline they put in behind the scenes. It's the extra reps in the gym, the early mornings spent honing their craft, the late nights refining their skills. These daily habits stack up over time and create unstoppable momentum. The challenge most people face is that daily habits don't always bring instant results. When you work hard for a day, a week, or even a month, you may not see any significant change. This is where most people quit. They assume their effort isn't working, so they stop. But those who understand the power of daily habits keep going, even when they don't see immediate results. They trust the process, knowing that the work they put in today will pay off in the future. Success is like planting a tree. You don't plant a seed and expect it to become a massive tree overnight. You water it, nurture it, and take care of it every single day, even when you don't see any growth. Then one day it starts to sprout. Eventually, it becomes strong with deep roots that can withstand any storm. That's how daily habits work. You may not see progress at first, but over time, they create a foundation so strong that success becomes inevitable. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to develop success habits is because they wait for the right mood or motivation. They wait for a sign, an ideal moment, or a burst of inspiration. But motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll never achieve long-term success. The key is to develop habits that don't rely on motivation. You don't brush your teeth only when you feel like it. You do it because it's a habit. That's how you need to approach success. Make it automatic. This requires discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It means setting a standard for yourself and sticking to it no matter how you feel that day. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's what separates the amateurs from the professionals. A major misconception is that successful people have extraordinary willpower. The truth is, they don't rely on willpower alone. They set up their lives in a way that makes success inevitable. They remove distractions, create routines, and surround themselves with an environment that reinforces their habits. They don't leave success to chance. They structure their days in a way that makes discipline easier. Take a look at your daily routine. Are your habits leading you towards success, or are they holding you back? Your life today is a reflection of the habits you've built over time. If you're not where you want to be, it's because of the small choices you make every day. The good news is you can change that. You can start building the habits that will take you to the next level. It starts with small changes. Wake up 30 minutes earlier and use that time to work on your goals. Read something that challenges your mind. Exercise daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Improve your skills every day, even if it's by 1%. These small habits may not seem like much at first, but over time, they compound into massive results. One of the best ways to build success habits is through consistency and accountability. When you make a commitment to yourself, honor it. Treat it like a promise that cannot be broken. And if you struggle to stay disciplined, find a way to hold yourself accountable. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a group of like-minded individuals, having someone to check in on your progress can make all the difference. Discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation is temporary. It's a fleeting feeling that comes and goes based on external circumstances. One day you wake up feeling inspired, ready to take on the world, and the next, you don't even want to get out of bed. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll never reach your full potential. Motivation is like a spark. It can ignite a fire, but it's discipline that keeps the fire burning. Most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They tell themselves they'll start working out when they feel more energized, or they'll start their business when they're inspired. But the truth is, if you wait for motivation, you'll be waiting forever. The most successful people don't wait until they feel like it. They show up regardless of how they feel. They push through exhaustion, doubt, and discomfort because they understand that success doesn't care about their feelings. It only responds to action. Discipline is what gets you up at 5 a.m. when your alarm goes off and you don't want to move. It's what keeps you studying when your friends are out having fun. It's what makes you stick to your goals when everything in you wants to quit. Discipline means making a commitment and following through no matter the circumstances. The problem with motivation is that it's unreliable. It's easy to be motivated at the start of something new. The excitement is fresh, the possibilities seem endless, and the energy is high. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the work gets hard, when progress is slow, when obstacles appear? That's when discipline takes over. Without discipline, you'll give up the moment things stop being easy. Success is about consistency, and consistency requires discipline. If you only do the right things when you feel like it, you will never build the habits necessary to achieve greatness. Champions train every day, whether they feel motivated or not. Writers write even when they don't feel inspired. Entrepreneurs put in the work even when they don't see immediate results. They understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you push yourself to do something difficult, even when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening that muscle. On the other hand, every time you give in to excuses, you weaken it. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with discipline is because they rely too much on their emotions. They let how they feel dictate what they do. But feelings are unpredictable. Some days you'll feel unstoppable and other days you'll feel defeated. If you allow emotions to control your actions, you'll always be inconsistent. You have to detach your actions from your emotions. It doesn't matter if you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired. You do what needs to be done because that's the standard you set for yourself. Discipline is about setting a standard for yourself and refusing to lower it. It's about making a decision and sticking to it no matter what. If you say you're going to wake up early, you wake up early. If you commit to a workout plan, you follow through. If you set a goal to read every day, you don't make excuses. You become someone who does what they say they're going to do. This is where most people fail. They set goals, make promises to themselves, and then break them the moment it becomes inconvenient. They start strong, but fade when things get hard. They let distractions, laziness, and self-doubt take control. But the truth is, every time you break a promise to yourself, you make it easier to quit in the future. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you reinforce the habit of giving up. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not exciting, it's not always fun, but it's what separates winners from losers. Winners don't rely on motivation, they rely on habits. They create routines that make discipline automatic. They eliminate distractions, structure their days, and remove any temptation to slack off. They make it easier to stay disciplined by setting up their environment for success. A common misconception is that disciplined people have more willpower, but willpower is limited. Even the most disciplined people don't rely on willpower alone. Instead, they create systems that make discipline easier. They set clear goals, break them down into daily tasks, and make those tasks non-negotiable. They remove obstacles that could lead to procrastination. They don't put themselves in situations where they have to constantly resist temptation. They set up their lives in a way that supports their discipline. One of the best ways to build discipline is through habits. The more you repeat a behavior, the more automatic it becomes. At first, waking up early might be difficult. Sticking to a workout plan might feel like a struggle. But over time, these actions become second nature. You don't have to think about them anymore. They become a part of who you are. Accountability is another powerful tool for discipline. When you hold yourself accountable, you take responsibility for your actions. You don't make excuses and you don't blame external circumstances. You own your choices. And if self-accountability is difficult, find someone who can hold you to your commitments. Whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a friend, having someone to check in with can keep you disciplined when motivation fades. A disciplined person doesn't need external rewards to stay on track. They don't do the work just for the recognition, the applause, or the praise. They do it because they made a commitment to themselves. They find satisfaction in the process, not just the outcome. They understand that discipline isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who follows through, who pushes themselves, who refuses to settle. The truth is, discipline is the foundation of every great achievement. It's the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about consistently choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. It's about doing the work day in and day out, no matter what. Your routine determines your results. Every single day, the actions you take, the choices you make, and the habits you build are shaping your future. People often look at success as a single event, a moment where everything suddenly falls into place. But that's not how it works. Success is the accumulation of consistent effort over time, and the routine you follow is the foundation of that success. If you look at the most successful people in any industry, you'll see a pattern. They have strict, intentional routines. They don't wake up and randomly decide what to do each day. They don't leave their success to chance. They create a structure that ensures they are constantly moving forward regardless of how they feel. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. And that discipline is built through routine. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they lack consistency. They work hard for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, but then they fall off. They allow distractions, emotions, and excuses to interfere with their progress. They tell themselves they'll get back on track tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into... The people who succeed are not necessarily the most gifted, but they are the ones who stick to their routine no matter what. Your habits define you. The small things you do every day matter far more than the big things you do once in a while. If your routine consists of waking up late, scrolling through your phone, skipping workouts, and procrastinating on important tasks, you cannot expect extraordinary results. But if your routine includes waking up early, working on your goals with focus, training your body and mind, and eliminating distractions, then success is inevitable. The reason routine is so powerful is that it removes the need for decision making. Every time you have to decide whether to do something, you give yourself the opportunity to make an excuse. But when something is part of your routine, you do it automatically. You don't wake up and debate whether or not to brush your teeth. You just do it. Imagine if working on your goals, exercising, and developing new skills became just as automatic. That's the power of routine. A major mistake people make is thinking they can rely on willpower alone. Willpower is like a battery. It runs out. If you have to constantly force yourself to make the right choices, you will eventually give in to temptation. But when you build a solid routine, you eliminate the need for willpower because the actions become part of who you are. Successful people don't have to convince themselves to put in the work every day. It's just what they do. One of the most common excuses people make is that they don't have enough time. The truth is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how you use it. If you don't have a routine, time will slip away from you. You'll waste hours on meaningless activities, and by the end of the day, you'll wonder where the time went. But when you have a structured routine, every hour is accounted for. You don't waste time because you already know exactly what you need to be doing. A well-structured routine doesn't mean you have to schedule every minute of your day, but it does mean having a clear plan. You need to know what time you wake up, what your priorities are, and how you will approach each day. Without a routine, you drift through life without direction. With a routine, you take control of your time and maximize your potential. One of the biggest benefits of having a strong routine is that it creates momentum. When you do something every day, it becomes easier over time. If you wake up early every day, eventually it becomes normal. If you exercise every day, it stops feeling like a chore. If you consistently work on your goals, progress becomes natural. Success is not about occasional bursts of effort. It's about steady, continuous progress. Most people struggle with consistency because they try to do too much at once. They start a new routine with unrealistic expectations, and when they can't keep up, they quit. The key is to start small and build gradually. Instead of trying to change everything overnight, focus on 1 or 2 habits at a time. Once those habits become part of your routine, add more. This way, you create a system that is sustainable in the long run. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your routine. If you surround yourself with distractions, it will be difficult to stay focused. If you surround yourself with negativity, it will be hard to stay motivated. Your routine is not just about what you do, it's also about the space you create for success. If your goal is to read more, keep books in visible places. If you want to exercise consistently, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Make it easy for yourself to stick to your routine. Accountability is another crucial factor in maintaining a strong routine. When you have someone holding you to a standard, you are less likely to slack off. This could be a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even a journal where you track your progress. The more accountable you are, the more likely you are to stay consistent. One of the most underrated aspects of a success routine is self-discipline. There will be days when you don't feel like following your routine. There will be moments when you want to take a break, skip a workout, or procrastinate on important work. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It means sticking to your routine even when it's hard. People who lack discipline often live in a cycle of starting and stopping. They get excited about their goals, put in effort for a short period, then fall back into old habits. The problem isn't that they don't have potential, it's that they don't have a solid routine to keep them on track. A strong routine eliminates inconsistency because it becomes a non-negotiable part of your life. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up and immediately check social media, you're starting your day on someone else's terms. But if you wake up with purpose, exercising, reading, planning your goals, you set yourself up for success. A morning routine is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life. It's not just about mornings. How you end your day matters too. If you spend your nights watching mindless entertainment and scrolling through your phone, you're wasting valuable time. But if you use that time to reflect, plan, and prepare, you go to bed with a clear mind and wake up ready to attack the day. Your nighttime routine determines how well you sleep, how productive you are the next day, and how consistent you remain. And the reality is, success is not complicated. It's not a mystery. It's not reserved for a select few. It's a result of what you do every single day. Your routine is either pushing you toward your goals or pulling you away from them. If you want to change your life, don't focus on massive transformations. Focus on your daily habits because in the end, your routine determines your results. Your mindset controls everything. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the perspective you bring to every situation shape your entire reality. Success starts in the mind before it ever manifests in the physical world. Every great achievement, every major breakthrough, every success story begins with someone who had the right mindset. Without it, no amount of talent, effort, or opportunity will be enough. Most people fail not because they lack skill or resources, but because their mindset holds them back. They doubt themselves. They let fear dictate their actions. They talk themselves out of opportunities before they even try. They focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible. They convince themselves that success is for other people, not for them. But the truth is, the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your mindset. A winning mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop. It's built through struggle, discipline, and relentless self-improvement. It's about training your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles. It's about believing in yourself even when no one else does. It's about refusing to let circumstances define you. When you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your future. The most successful people in the world think differently. They don't see problems, they see challenges to overcome. They don't dwell on failures. They learn from them. They don't waste time making excuses. They find solutions. They understand that mindset is everything, and they train their minds just as hard as they train their bodies or their skills. They know that no matter how talented they are, if their mindset isn't right, they will never reach their full potential. One of the biggest mindset shifts you have to make is taking full ownership of your life. Too many people blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their lack of opportunities, or the people around them. But as long as you blame external factors, you give away your power. Successful people don't make excuses. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't complain about what they don't have. They take responsibility for their actions, their choices, and their results. And when you take full ownership of your life, everything changes. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to quit and start seeing them as tests of your resilience. You stop looking for shortcuts and start embracing the process. You understand that success isn't given, it's earned. Another key mindset shift is learning to embrace failure. Most people fear failure so much that they never even try. They see failure as proof that they aren't good enough, that they aren't meant for success. But the most successful people see failure differently. They see it as feedback. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a necessary step toward it. Every failure is a lesson, a chance to improve, a stepping stone on the path to greatness. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. You have to develop the resilience to get back up every time you fall. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. Your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that success is out of reach, that you'll never make it, then that will become your reality. But if you train your mind to believe in yourself, to see possibilities instead of limitations, to focus on solutions instead of problems, then you will create a reality that aligns with that mindset. One of the most powerful things you can do is control your inner dialogue. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Are you lifting yourself up or are you tearing yourself down? Are you feeding your mind with positive, empowering thoughts? Or are you letting negativity take over? The words you speak to yourself matter. If you want to change your life, start by changing your self-talk. The people you surround yourself with also play a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you spend your time around negative, lazy, unmotivated people, their mindset will rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, positive individuals, their energy will push you to be better. Your environment influences your mindset more than you realize. If you want to develop a winning mindset, you have to be intentional about what you expose yourself to. What are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you listening to? Is your environment filled with inspiration, growth, and motivation, or is it filled with distractions and negativity? The more you surround yourself with success, the more it will become part of your reality. Another key to building a strong mindset is focusing on what you can control. Too many people waste time worrying about things they have no power over. They stress about what other people think, about things that went wrong in the past, about things that might happen in the future. But successful people focus on what they can control: their effort, their attitude, their habits, their mindset. They understand that complaining, blaming, and worrying won't change anything. Action does. You have to train your mind the same way you train your body. Just like you wouldn't expect to get stronger by going to the gym once, you can't expect to develop a powerful mindset by working on it occasionally. It requires daily effort. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to speakers who inspire you. Write down your goals every day. Remind yourself of your vision every morning. Feed your mind with positive, growth-oriented thoughts until it becomes second nature. Discipline is a key component of a strong mindset. There will be days when you don't feel like working hard, when you don't feel motivated, when you just want to take it easy. But success doesn't come from doing the right things only when you feel like it. It comes from showing up every single day, putting in the work, and staying committed no matter how you feel. Your mindset also determines how you handle pressure. Life will test you. You will face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Your ability to push through those moments depends on the way you think. If you have a weak mindset, you will crumble under pressure. But if you have a strong mindset, you will rise to the occasion. You will see challenges as opportunities to grow, and you will refuse to let anything break you. One of the most important traits of a strong mindset is resilience. No one succeeds without setbacks. No one wins without losing first. No one reaches the top without struggling along the way. The people who make it are the ones who keep going when things get tough. They don't let failure define them. They don't let obstacles stop them. They find a way to keep moving forward no matter what. The final key to a winning mindset is patience. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and consistency. Most people quit because they expect results too soon. They want instant success, and when they don't get it, they give up. But those who understand the process know that real success is built over time. They stay committed, they keep putting in the work, and they trust that their efforts will pay off. Success is not about what you do occasionally, it's about what you do consistently. The power of discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the foundation that holds everything together when motivation fades, when obstacles appear, and when the journey gets tough. Discipline is the ability to stay committed to your goals, to show up every single day, and to push forward even when you don't feel like it. Without discipline, talent is wasted, potential is never realized, and dreams remain just that, dreams. Most people rely on motivation to get things done. They wait until they feel inspired, energized, or in the mood to take action. But motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. If you only work hard when you feel motivated, you will never reach your full potential. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. It's the ability to act regardless of how you feel. It's waking up early when you're tired. It's going to the gym when you don't feel like it. It's putting in the extra work even when no one is watching. It's doing what needs to be done, not because you feel like it, but because you're committed to the process. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. The more you practice self-control, the easier it becomes. At first, it may feel difficult to wake up early, stick to a schedule, or push yourself beyond your comfort zone. But over time, those actions become habits. They become part of who you are. You stop negotiating with yourself, and you start executing automatically. That's when discipline becomes second nature, and that's when success becomes inevitable. Most people fail because they lack self-discipline. They start with enthusiasm, but as soon as things get hard, they quit. They make excuses, procrastinate, and convince themselves that they'll try again later. But success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who take action, who stay disciplined, and who keep pushing forward no matter what. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They are the most disciplined. They have trained themselves to stay focused, to work hard, and to follow through on their commitments, no matter how they feel. One of the biggest barriers to discipline is instant gratification. People want results immediately. They want to lose weight without exercising. They want to build wealth without working hard. They want success without struggle. But discipline is about delaying gratification. It's about choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. It's about making sacrifices now so you can enjoy the benefits later. When you train yourself to resist distractions, temptations, and excuses, you put yourself in a position to win. Another key to discipline is setting clear goals. You cannot stay disciplined if you don't know what you're working toward. You need a vision, a target, a reason to stay committed. When your goals are clear, your actions become intentional. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter, and you start focusing on what will get you closer to your dreams. Every decision you make, every habit you develop, and every action you take should align with your goals. If it doesn't, eliminate it. Structure and routine are essential for discipline. If you don't have a plan, it's easy to fall into bad habits. Successful people don't leave their success to chance. They create systems that set them up for victory. They wake up at the same time every day, follow a structured schedule, and eliminate distractions. They don't waste energy deciding what to do next because they already have a plan. The more structure you have in your life, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stay disciplined. If you surround yourself with distractions, you will struggle to stay focused. If you surround yourself with people who lack ambition, you will find yourself lowering your standards. But if you create an environment that supports your goals, if you surround yourself with people who push you, if you remove distractions, if you set yourself up for success, discipline becomes much easier. Accountability is another powerful tool for discipline. When you hold yourself accountable, you eliminate excuses. You don't allow yourself to slack off because you know that your results depend on your actions. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even a journal where you track your progress, having something that keeps you accountable will help you stay on track. The more accountable you are, the more disciplined you become. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the right moment to start. They tell themselves they'll start being disciplined next week, next month, or next year. But the truth is, there is never a perfect time to start. The only time is now. If you want to be successful, you have to start developing discipline today. You have to take control of your habits, your actions, and your decisions right now. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Discipline is not about being perfect, about being consistent. You have days when you slip up, when you make mistakes, when you don't follow through. That's normal. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the ability to get back on track quickly. When you fall off, don't dwell on it. Don't make excuses. Don't let one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. Just refocus, recommit, and keep moving forward. Your mind will always try to convince you to take the easy way out. It will tell you to hit the snooze button, to skip the workout, to relax instead of working on your goals. But you have to train yourself to override those thoughts. You have to remind yourself why you started, why your goals matter, and why discipline is the key to your success. When you master your mind, you master your life. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but the truth is discipline equals freedom. When you are disciplined, you have control over your time, your habits, and your future. You don't waste time on things that don't matter. You don't let distractions dictate your life. You don't wake up feeling lost or overwhelmed. Instead, you move with purpose, confidence, and direction. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you create for yourself. Discipline is also the foundation of self-respect. When you stay committed to your goals, when you follow through on your promises to yourself, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are in control. But when you lack discipline, you lose trust in yourself. You feel frustrated, unmotivated, and stuck. The way you treat yourself matters, and discipline is the ultimate form of self-care. No one is born disciplined. It's a skill that must be developed. It requires effort, consistency, and a willingness to push through discomfort. The good news is anyone can build discipline. It doesn't matter where you start. It only matters that you start. The more you practice, the stronger you become. The more you push yourself, the easier it gets. Over time, discipline transforms from something you force yourself to do into something that defines who you are. Success is built on habits. It's not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. The small, seemingly insignificant actions you take consistently determine where you end up in life. Your habits shape your future, whether you realize it or not. Every decision you make, every routine you follow, every pattern you repeat is either pushing you towards success or pulling you away from it. If you want to change your life, the first place to start is with your habits. Most people underestimate the power of habits because they don't see immediate results. They go to the gym for a week and nothing changes. They read for a few days and their mindset feels the same. They work on their business for a month and they don't see a breakthrough, so they quit. But success isn't about instant results. It's about consistency. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who make the biggest moves all at once. They're the ones who commit to small disciplined actions every day and stay with them long enough to see results. Your habits are a reflection of your standards. If you have high standards, you will develop habits that push you toward excellence. You will wake up early, prioritize your health, invest in your growth, and take care of your responsibilities. But if you settle for mediocrity, your habits will reflect that too. You'll hit snooze, waste time on distractions, procrastinate, and let opportunities slip away. The truth is, your daily habits reveal what you truly expect from yourself. The key to success is designing habits that align with your goals. If you want to be fit, your habits must reflect that. You need to exercise consistently, eat well, and prioritize recovery. If you want to be successful in business, your habits must support that goal. You need to study your industry, take action daily, and surround yourself with the right people. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to make drastic changes overnight. They set unrealistic goals, try to change everything at once, and burn out quickly. But true transformation happens through small, sustainable changes. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life, focus on making small improvements every day. If you improve by just 1% each day, those small gains compound into massive results over time. Every habit is a vote for the person you want to become. When you choose to wake up early, you're casting a vote for becoming disciplined. When you choose to read instead of scrolling through social media, you're casting a vote for becoming knowledgeable. When you choose to work on your goals instead of making excuses, you're casting a vote for becoming successful. Every decision you make is shaping your identity, whether you realize it or not. Bad habits are the enemy of success. They may seem harmless at first, but over time, they compound in the wrong direction. Skipping one workout turns into skipping a week, then a month. Procrastinating on a task turns into a habit of putting things off. Eating unhealthy meals here and there turns into a lifestyle of poor choices. The longer you allow bad habits to stay in your life, the harder they become to break. That's why you have to be intentional about eliminating the habits that are holding you back. The easiest way to break a bad habit is to replace it with a good one. Instead of focusing on what you need to stop doing, shift your focus to what you need to start doing. If you want to stop wasting time on social media, replace that habit with reading or learning a new skill. If you want to stop eating junk food, replace it with healthier options that you enjoy. Your brain doesn't like to give up habits, but it will accept new ones if you make the transition easy. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your habits. If your surroundings make it easy to develop bad habits, you will struggle to change. But if you design an environment that supports good habits, success becomes automatic. If you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove junk food from your home. If you want to be more productive, set up a workspace that minimizes distractions. If you want to work out consistently, lay out your gym clothes the night before. The fewer obstacles between you and your good habits, the easier it becomes to stick with them. Habits are built through repetition, not motivation. The first few times you do something new, it feels difficult. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Your brain starts to automate the behavior until it becomes second nature. That's why consistency is more important than intensity. It's better to do a small habit every day than to do something extreme once in a while. A 10-minute workout every day is more effective than one intense workout per month. Reading 10 pages every night is better than trying to read an entire book in one sitting. Small, consistent actions lead to massive results over time. One of the most powerful ways to reinforce good habits is by tracking your progress. When you see your consistency, it motivates you to keep going. A simple habit tracker, a checklist, or even a calendar where you mark off each day you complete a habit can make a big difference. The more you see your streak grow, the less likely you are to break it. This creates momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces in success. Another key to building strong habits is setting up rewards. Your brain loves rewards, and when you associate a habit with a positive outcome, it becomes easier to stick with it. The reward doesn't have to be big. It can be something as simple as acknowledging your progress, taking a short break, or celebrating small wins. The key is to make the habit feel satisfying so your brain wants to repeat it. Accountability is another major factor in habit formation. When you have someone keeping you accountable, you are far more likely to stay committed. This could be a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even a community of people who share similar goals. When you know that someone is watching your progress, you're less likely to make excuses. Find an accountability partner who will push you to stay on track, and you will see a huge difference in your consistency. Identity-based habits are the most powerful type of habits. Instead of just setting a goal, you need to adopt the identity of the person who achieves that goal. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to read more, say, I am a reader. When you see yourself as the type of person who naturally does these things, it becomes much easier to maintain the habits that support that identity. The truth is, your future is being created right now by the habits you choose to follow. Success is not about luck, talent, or circumstances. It's about discipline, consistency, and daily habits. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your habits. Make small improvements every day. Stay consistent even when you don't feel like it. Eliminate bad habits before they take over your life. Build an environment that supports your success. Take ownership of your routines, and over time, you will see the results of your effort.